Becoming a ghost warrior, the impossible training of a sniper. Somewhere in this field, a ghost is watching. He's been lying here for hours. Motionless. A predator literally woven into the fabric of the earth. He is a master of patience, a student of the unseen. And he's about to take his shot. Around him, the landscape is alive with hunters. Instructors, known as walkers, scan the terrain with powerful binoculars, their eyes trained to spot the slightest thing that's out of place. A broken branch. A patch of grass that seems wrong. They pass just feet from his position, totally oblivious. The tension is a physical thing, a held breath stretching for minutes that feel like hours. The ghost doesn't flinch. He is part of the land now. Can you spot him? Take a closer look. The challenge is real, a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek where the price of losing is absolute. What does it really take to become invisible? To become a force that can shape a battlefield from a mile away, a whisper in the wind, a ghost in the machine. The title, Sniper, is one of the most revered and mythologized in the entire military. It brings up images of impossible shots and superhuman patience. But the reality? It's far more grueling, scientific, and psychologically demanding than any movie could ever capture. This isn't a story about learning to shoot. This is the story of a transformation. It's the brutal, secretive, and utterly unforgiving process that breaks a soldier down and reforges them into something else entirely, a ghost warrior. The training is a crucible designed to weed out a huge percentage of applicants, a series of impossible trials that test the absolute limits of human endurance, intellect, and mental fortitude. Many will try. Most will not make it. Today, we're getting a rare look inside this impossible training. We'll journey through the distinct phases that turn a soldier into a phantom of the battlefield. From the psychological gates that guard the entrance, to the arcane art of invisibility, the cold science of the perfect shot, and the final, soul-crushing test that brings it all together. This is what it truly takes to become a ghost. The gatekeeper, forging the mind. Before a candidate ever touches a high-powered rifle, before they weave a single strand of jute into a ghillie suit, they have to face the biggest obstacle of all, their own mind. The path to becoming a sniper doesn't start on the range. It starts with a psychological and character assessment so intense that it washes out a majority of hopefuls from the very beginning. The instructors aren't looking for action heroes. They're not looking for the fastest or the strongest soldier. They're searching for a very specific psychological profile, a rare mix of traits that often seem to contradict each other. They need someone with extreme patience, who can also act with decisive, lethal speed. They need someone who can handle complex physics and math, but also stay totally calm under unimaginable pressure. They need an individual who can operate alone for days, yet still function as a seamless part of a larger team. This first phase is the gatekeeper. The training is designed to see who can handle profound mental hardship. It's about weeding out those with a low tolerance for discomfort, both physical and mental. Can you sit still for 8 hours, watching a patch of empty ground without losing focus? Can you crawl through freezing mud and biting insects, knowing that one careless mistake sends you back to your old unit? Can you handle the crushing weight of knowing that a mission's success, and the lives of your comrades, could rest entirely on your shoulders? This is where the true foundation of a sniper is laid. Modern military science has shown that a sniper's most critical skills aren't physical, they're mental. Performance psychology is baked into the curriculum from day one. Candidates learn cognitive rehearsal, mentally walking through every step of a mission, every movement, every breath, to build neural pathways that make complex actions automatic, even when their body is flooded with adrenaline. They master breathing techniques, not just to steady their aim, but to control their heart rate and suppress the body's natural startle response, that instinctive flinch that can mean the difference between a hit and a miss. Instructors create high-stress scenarios designed to make them fail. They want to see how a candidate reacts. Do they panic? Do they get angry? Or do they stay calm, analyze their mistake, and adapt? The person who gets angry at the instructor for tricking them is sent packing. The one who calmly accepts the failure, learns the lesson, and quietly resolves to never make that mistake again, that's the person they're looking for. They're searching for emotional stability and a stoic acceptance of hardship, the ability to look at the wettest, darkest, most disgusting hole imaginable and see a perfect place to hide. Even the body's instinct to freeze when startled, often seen as a weakness, is reframed. Research shows the freeze response can actually enhance perception by silencing mental noise. Sniper training helps candidates understand and even use this response, turning a moment of potential panic into one of heightened clarity. This is why the attrition rate is so high. It's not about being a tough guy, it's about being a thinking man, a patient man, a resilient man. A course like the U.S. Army's is a grueling, multi-week job interview where every single moment is a test. Before you can learn to hide from the enemy, you have to prove you can't hide from yourself. Only those who have this rare psychological bedrock are allowed to pass through the gate and begin the journey of learning how to disappear. The art of invisibility, mastering fieldcraft. Once a candidate has proven they have the mind for the job, the training builds the body and skills of a sniper. This is where the ghost begins to take shape, in the painstaking, laborious discipline known as fieldcraft. Fieldcraft is the art and science of becoming part of the natural landscape. It's the mastery of camouflage, concealment, and movement. It is, simply, the art of invisibility. The most iconic symbol of this is the ghillie suit. But candidates don't just get issued one. They have to build it, piece by agonizing piece. They start with a basic uniform and spend dozens of hours tying on individual strands of jute, burlap, and canvas. It's a tedious process, but it's the first lesson in the sniper's philosophy: attention to detail saves lives. An improperly tied strand can snag on a branch, a poorly chosen color can stand out to a trained eye. Everything must be perfect. But the suit itself is only a canvas. The real art comes in the ghillie wash. This isn't cleaning, it's seasoning. Candidates drag their new suits through mud, stagnant water, and decomposing leaves. The goal is to strip away the artificial newness, to stain it with the colors and smells of the earth, making it look, feel, and even smell like the environment it's meant to mimic. From there, the suit becomes a living thing. Before every exercise, a sniper painstakingly weaves local vegetation into their suit, a process that has to be repeated as they move through different terrain. They use pruning shears to make clean cuts, avoiding the torn, unnatural look of a broken branch. This forces them to observe the world in a way no normal soldier ever does. They learn to see the subtle variations in plants, the way light filters through trees, and how shadows move with the sun. Shadows are a sniper's best friend. With camouflage established, the training moves to the ultimate test, the stalk. This is arguably the most feared and respected event in sniper school, with a notoriously high failure rate. The idea is simple, but the execution is maddeningly difficult. A candidate has to move, undetected, across several hundred yards of open or semi-open terrain to get into a final firing position and take a simulated shot, all while being hunted by instructors with high-powered optics. Moving slow isn't a suggestion, it's a law of survival. Slow is smooth is fast, is drilled into every candidate. They learn to crawl at a glacial pace, taking minutes to move a single foot. They learn to time their movements with the wind, using a gust to mask the sound of their rustling or the motion of the grass they displace. They become masters of negative space, understanding that human eyes are drawn to movement and familiar shapes. By moving in a slow, non-human way, they can slip right past an observer's perception. The physical toll is immense. Candidates spend hours, sometimes an entire day, crawling on their bellies through dirt, thorns, rocks, and insects. Their muscles are screaming, their bodies are covered in scrapes, but they can't give in. The mental toll is even worse. It's a battle of wills, a test of pure patience. Every inch is a victory, every rustle of a leaf is a potential failure. And now it's your turn. In this image, a sniper candidate is in the middle of their stock. Two instructors are scanning this exact area, trying to find them. Can you spot the sniper? They learn to use every dip in the terrain, every shadow, every bush. The route plan is as critical as the movement itself. This is the world of the Ghost Warrior, a world lived in inches, whispers, and shadows. This is where legends like Marine Corps sniper Carlos Hathcock were forged. During the Vietnam War, Hathcock famously crawled for 3 days, covering 1,500 yards of open ground without being detected to assassinate an enemy general. It's an almost unbelievable feat of endurance and fieldcraft, and it's the standard every candidate is aspiring to. For those who pass the stock, they've proven they can do more than just hide, they've proven they can become nothing at all. The ghost in the machine, the science of the shot. Being invisible is useless if you can't be lethal. Once a candidate masters the art of not being seen, they must master the science of the shot. This is where the ghost learns to interact with the machine, the complex dance between rifle, optic, ammunition, and environment. And let's be clear, long-range marksmanship isn't just about a steady hand and a good eye. It's a brutal, unforgiving form of applied physics. As the instructors say, any monkey can be taught to pull a trigger. The real skill lies with the spotter and shooter working as one to solve a complex ballistic equation in seconds. Candidates are introduced to a new language. They learn about mils, or milliradians, a unit of angular measurement used to calculate range and make precise adjustments in their scope. They live and die by their dope, or data on previous engagements, a detailed logbook where they record how their rifle and ammo perform in every condition imaginable. That book becomes their Bible. They quickly learn that the bullet doesn't fly in a simple arc. It's assaulted by a dozen invisible forces the moment it leaves the barrel. Candidates have to learn to calculate for all of them. They must read the wind, not just where they are, but all the way to the target, watching for the subtle mirage, heat waves rising from the ground that reveal changes in wind direction. A 15-mile-per-hour crosswind can push a bullet over 33 inches off course at 500 yards. But it goes so much deeper. They have to account for temperature, humidity, and barometric pressure, since changes in air density will alter the bullet's flight path. They must account for the angle of their shot. Shooting uphill or downhill dramatically changes the point of impact. They even have to account for the rotation of the Earth. On very long shots, the Coriolis effect can cause a bullet to drift. And then there's spin drift, the tendency of a spinning bullet to veer slightly in the direction of its spin. To manage all this, snipers rely on advanced ballistic calculators, software that can process these variables and give a firing solution. But technology can fail. Batteries die, devices break. So every candidate must be able to do the math themselves, to build trajectory tables from scratch, to understand the science so deeply that the calculator is a convenience, not a crutch. The training is relentless. They spend thousands of hours on the range, firing in every condition, blistering heat, freezing cold, rain, and the dead of night. They practice on moving targets, learning to calculate leads based on the target's speed. They shoot from unstable positions, off rooftops, from inside vehicles, or propped on makeshift rests, because in the real world, a perfect prone position is a luxury. Modern science has even entered the trigger pull. Neuroscience helps snipers understand and conquer their own body. They're trained to manage the sight wobble that comes with a high heart rate and to time their shot within their natural respiratory pause. They learn to squeeze the trigger so smoothly that the rifle firing is almost a surprise, preventing any last millisecond flinch that could throw the shot. This is the cold, hard reality behind the one shot, one kill mantra. It's not a boast, it's a mission statement born from an encyclopedic knowledge of external ballistics. Each shot is a scientific process, a fusion of man, machine, and environment. The ghost in the machine is the sniper who has mastered this science so completely it becomes instinct, allowing them to deliver a single, precise round to a target a kilometer or more away, as if by magic. the crucible, pressure and patience. In the final phase of training, the walls close in. All the individual skills, the psychological resilience, the art of invisibility, the science of the shot, are now forged together in the crucible of the final field exercise. This is where candidates must prove they can perform these skills under the immense pressure of simulated combat, exhaustion, and isolation. This is where the soldier truly dies, and the ghost warrior is born. The final exercises are grueling, multi-day missions that push candidates to their absolute physical and mental limits. A typical test might involve a secret night insertion into enemy territory. From there, the two-man sniper/spotter team must navigate for miles through harsh terrain, using only a map and compass, to a designated observation point. Once there, their work has just begun. For the next 24 to 48 hours, they will live in a hide site, often a hole no bigger than a coffin, staying perfectly still and silent. Their primary mission isn't shooting, it's observation. They become the eyes and ears of the commander, meticulously recording enemy movements, patterns, and equipment, and relaying that intelligence back. This tests their patience to the extreme, forcing them to stay hypervigilant for days on end, fighting off sleep, hunger, and mind-numbing boredom. Then, the orders come down. They are given a series of complex firing problems they must solve under intense time pressure. They might have to stalk to a new firing position a kilometer away, without being spotted. Once there, they'll be tasked with engaging multiple targets at unknown distances, including moving ones, requiring them to range, calculate, and fire with near instantaneous speed and accuracy. Everything is designed to induce stress. Instructors will try to find their hide sites. They'll create diversions and false targets to test the sniper's judgment. The final shot of the course is often worth a huge portion of their grade. A first-round hit might be a pass. A second-round hit, a partial pass. A miss could mean failing the entire course, weeks of agony wasted in a single moment. This is where the history of their craft becomes a living presence. They are walking in the footsteps of legends. They think of Vasily Zaitsev, the Soviet sniper who hunted his enemies with cunning and patience in the rubble of Stalingrad, credited with over 225 kills. They are measured against men like Adalbert Waldron, who, in Vietnam, recorded 109 confirmed kills in just 8 months, many from the unstable platform of a moving riverboat. And they are taught the story of Chris Kyle, the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history, officially credited with over 160 kills, as a lesson in the immense responsibility and psychological weight that comes with the job. The training must prepare them not just for the challenges on the battlefield, but for the burdens they will carry after. This final test is the ultimate synthesis. It combines the mental fortitude to operate alone, the field craft to remain unseen, the scientific knowledge to make the impossible shot, and the endurance to do it all when physically and mentally shattered. It's an ordeal that ensures anyone who graduates is more than just a marksman. They are a self-sufficient, problem-solving, lethal asset. They have proven they can be the ghost, a patient, disciplined, and unshakably resilient force on the battlefield. The journey to become a ghost warrior is one of relentless transformation, forging the mind and body into a precision instrument of war. The standards are impossibly high, because they have to be. If you found this look inside one of the world's most elite military schools fascinating, be sure to subscribe for more breakdowns of impossible training. And let us know in the comments which military specialty you want to see next. In the end, what truly defines a sniper? It's not the rifle they carry or their kill count. It is a mindset. It's the profound understanding that their greatest weapon isn't the half-inch of lead they send downrange, but their own mind. It's the patience to wait for days for the perfect shot, and the discipline to not take it if the conditions aren't right. The training is a brutal rite of passage, designed to find the 1 in 100 soldier who has the unique psychological makeup to endure the isolation, the pressure, and the moral weight of their role. They are transformed from a simple soldier into a master of observation, a student of physics, and an artist of invisibility. Those who emerge from this crucible are forever changed. They see the world differently, noticing details others miss, moving with a quiet purpose. They are the ghost warriors, a silent, watchful presence on the modern battlefield. An unseen force that can bring chaos or calm, a patient guardian to their comrades, and a terrifying, phantom threat to their enemies.